The morning of December 19th, 2018, saw the streets of Sudan awaken to the sound of anger and hope. The first spark ignited in the city of Cutbura, where students and workers took to the streets, chanting against rising prices and deteriorating living conditions. No one knew that these cries would transform into a revolution, shaking the foundations of a regime that had stood for 3 decades. Life in Sudan at that time was burdened by severe economic pressure. The price of bread tripled overnight, and citizens suffered from fuel shortages and a lack of cash liquidity. Voices demanding dignity and justice grew louder, turning small marches into massive protests that swept across cities and villages alike. In Khartoum, the capital city, the streets filled with crowds chanting a slogan that became the symbol of the revolution: freedom, peace, and justice. Young and old, men and women, carried their dreams on their shoulders, defying tear gas and rubber bullets. Women led from the front, igniting the spirit and holding banners calling for change. Amid this revolutionary tide, prominent figures from civil society, lawyers, and doctors emerged to support the movement. Neighborhood resistance committees became the backbone of the revolution, organizing rallies, disseminating information, and defying curfews and state repression. On April 6, 2019, public outrage reached its peak when thousands of protesters staged a sit-in outside the General Command of the Armed Forces in Khartoum. The sit-in became the beating heart of the revolution, bringing together people from all walks of life to build a new Sudan. The site turned into a mini-city, complete with public speaking platforms, field clinics, and art workshops reflecting the people's vision for an inclusive nation. Despite violent crackdowns and attempts to disperse the sit-in, protesters remained steadfast. On April 11, 2019, Defense Minister Awad Ibn Auf announced the ousting of President Omar al-Bashir after 30 years in power. Yet, Sudanese people did not stop at removing the head of the regime. They continued their pressure until a political agreement was reached, paving the way for a transitional period toward democracy. The December Revolution was a saga of popular struggle that embodied the will for change. It was not merely a protest against economic hardship, but a cry for freedom and social justice. Despite the challenges Sudan continues to face, the memory of those days stands as a testament to the people's ability to shape their own destiny. The revolution's spirit extended beyond the streets, influencing arts, culture, and public discourse. Songs and murals celebrated the courage of the people. The slogans of the revolution became part of everyday conversations. The youth, especially, found a renewed sense of ownership over their country's future. The role of women in the revolution was particularly significant. Known as Kendakas, a reference to ancient Nubian queens, they led protests. Women organized logistics and provided moral and emotional support. Their visibility and leadership challenged societal norms and redefined women's roles in public life.